men are actually treated horribly by black
Mm-hmm.
women, whether it was from a romantic relationship or from their mama or their auntie or their grandma. Now, what are your relationship qualities? Because your professional qualities have nothing to do with that. You could have 2 or 3 degrees and be an attorney, or have a GED and work fast food. They don't care either
Mm-hmm.
way.
Don't want to be with an accomplished and educated woman because those women are entitled,
Mm.
demanding, and a pain.
You making yourselves undateable because the women are outpacing you.
Or I would say things like, has any woman ever cared about what you want and not just what you can offer her?
Baby, it is 2025. Can we please stop with this goofy outrage whenever it comes to black men being in
Mm-hmm.
relationships with non-black women? As a black woman myself, I have never understood this issue. Because as much as a lot of black women act like they just can't stand black men, I don't understand why y'all are mad. And then we'll make
Exactly.
stupid arguments like if he don't want to be in a relationship with a black woman, it means he hates his mom or something like that. Because a white woman is what activates this man's libido. Why does he have to hate his mama because of that? And let's just play
Yeah.
devil's advocate for a second. Let's just say he does have this underlying hatred towards his mom. Have y'all ever paid attention to how a lot of black men are actually treated by their mamas? So even if that is the case, why are we
Hold up. She said, "Do you know how a lot of black men are treated by their mamas?" And then you got the son husbands. Let me let it cook.
skipping over
Sorry.
the fact that it very well could be justified? Of course, we have some exceptions, but as a whole, black men are actually treated horribly by black
Mm-hmm.
women, whether it was from a romantic relationship or from their mama or their auntie or their grandma. A lot of black men have experienced trauma that was caused by black women. Y'all have even got on here and acknowledged that black men who act like they have this hatred or this dislike towards black women is because of unresolved issues of trauma that they went through with their moms. The only thing I do agree with y'all on is that if they do have some underlying issues whenever it comes to their mother or whatever the case is, they should seek some sort of professional help for it. Those type of issues do need to be addressed. But y'all are skipping over the fact that the root to the issue is how he was treated by black women. Y'all want to hold black men accountable for not addressing their trauma. How about we hold the person who caused the trauma accountable as well?
Exactly. That's the problem. She said it. At the end, she said it. Y'all want to hold the man accountable for not dating inside? How about we hold the woman accountable? Right? And men, they've done that. They've held women accountable. I mean, a lot of men have left. A lot of men just choose not to deal with it anymore. You got some guys, very select few, that are staying behind. But a guy will not get a non appreciative, don't care about nothing but what I got going on, and worship their boss, but won't treat their man with respect. Guys are not dealing with that.
That women will have all these degrees and still get pregnant or have kids by a man that have no GED or that have a GED. Let's get into that. Diplomas can't heal an unhealed heart. Education does not exempt anyone from emotional blind spots. Here's an
Wow.
example for you, sis. Degrees can teach strategies, but it cannot teach self-worth. Degrees don't heal trauma. So a lot of people settle not because they're not intelligent, but because of societal conditioning. It's not a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of undoing. Until that happens, degrees will still sit next to disappointment. Furthermore, to suggest because they had kids by the wrong person that they are failing at life is crazy. Because if that's the case, then a lot of people are failing at life, whether they have degrees or not. However, I will say that life is not about failures as much as it's about lessons, and that failure is subjective. So what may be a failure to you may not be a failure to me, and that's okay.
Yeah, and the funny thing with that, everything she's talking about, I'm listening to it and I'm thinking degrees don't equal money. Like everybody keeps talking about degrees. Like the people that have got the richest, a lot of the times didn't have one. I'm not trying to say there are people who have them that don't make a lot of money. I'm not saying that at all. But most of the women in the community are not making all that money. The smart ones are that get a degree that is in a field that's needed, makes a lot of sense. The ones that think logically and says, okay, I have a job. Maybe my job said, if I want to advance, I need to get a degree. I need to get a master's or a bachelor's. That's a lot different. I respect that. But just getting degrees, like, no, yeah, she's right. They don't heal trauma. But let's keep moving.
care about your educational or professional backgrounds whenever it comes to relationships, why do y'all get so offended? Because for one, nobody is saying don't be educated. Nobody is saying don't thrive professionally. If you have 2 or 3 degrees and wear several different professional hats, that's great for you. Those are great personal and professional accomplishments. Now, what are your relationship qualities? Because your professional qualities have nothing to do with that. That's what men mean whenever they say they don't care. You could have 2 or 3 degrees and be an attorney, or have a GED and work fast food. They don't care either way. What do you bring to the table romantically? What type of woman are you? Do you know how to take accountability? Do you like to argue all the time? Are you dominant or are you submissive? Are you loving? Are you nurturing? Are you even a good person? Is his feelings going to actually count for something in the relationship, or do you make the whole relationship about you? Those are the type of things that men want to find out about you as a woman before determining if he wants to be in a relationship with you. The fact that you have a degree and make 6 figures does not tell him that. That's why he don't care. See, the issue with women who don't know how to separate their professional qualities from their romantic qualities is because your romantic qualities are... So in order to cover that up, you have to talk about how much you thrive professionally.
Real talk.
Because when you're asked questions like, okay, how's your personality? You don't have a answer. And y'all know that. That's why y'all flip the script and make it seem like men are intimidated by your professional accomplishments. When in reality, they truly are not intimidated. It's just your degrees and how much money you make and what you do for a living. That information is completely irrelevant to them. How you behave and carry yourself in the boardroom has nothing to do with how you will behave and carry yourself in a romantic relationship. They're simply just saying, give me some information that I won't be able to read on a damn job application.
Yes, men don't care about that, right? And it shows. It's showing now. Because what are men doing? Backing away. Men are saying, most of these women are getting their degrees. I can't be with them. Because they get the degrees and go, I'm on top of the world. Some of them are very humble. They get their degrees and then maybe go back to Walmart and realize I can't get out of Walmart, or there's something that pays a little higher, but they see that they can't move because maybe they got their degree in social services, which doesn't make sense. And that's the thing. There are ones out there going to get their masters, but getting their masters in something that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all because it doesn't equate to money. And men don't care because, as she said, we care about what do you bring to the table. That's what men are saying nowadays, and they're shouting it to the mountaintops. What do you bring to the table?
Absolutely not.
A lot of them, absolutely nothing.
I actually have found that I think men are more likely to have bizarrely unrealistic expectations. I have so many girlfriends who are highly accomplished, highly educated, great people, and just wonderful women. And the dating pool is absolutely brutal for
What
that.
are these men looking for?
It is entirely unclear to me.
They won't listen. They never listen.
Why? That it's like, why are there men not jumping to want to date them? So,
Well, Alicia, those are not bizarre and unrealistic expectations, because reality is that ultimately men want to build a family, okay? And most men don't want to be with an accomplished and educated woman because those women are entitled, demanding, and a pain.
Emotional damage
To deal with. Even different studies will tell you that that's the case. So most of your accomplished and educated friends are very likely to end up with a cat.
Kids! You know I love them.
Instead of a family. Just like Whoopi.
Real talk alert.
Oh, man. That couldn't happen. Is that real? I saw that a little while ago. That couldn't have happened. That was funny.
It's harder for women to find partners when they're on average more likely to be educated than men. 58% of college graduates in the most recent cohorts were women, with 1 woman on campus for every 2 men. And with this scenario where there's more women becoming college educated than men at increasing numbers, you're going to get a bit of a mismatch in terms of women looking for those men who are up and to the right economically, but there's fewer men there. Yeah, it's a real problem.
I think we all know that the wrong conversation is being had here, okay? It's not that women are becoming more educated. It's the fact that the men seem to be less motivated to further their education, to further their lives, and to further their careers. Men are having the wrong conversations, and I don't understand why the conversations are being had from a feminine perspective. Like, oh, 58% of women are going to university more than men. So shouldn't the conversation be between the men? Hey guys, you are quite literally making yourselves undateable because the women are outpacing you.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
And in order to not get left behind and basically become an incel, you're going to need to figure out how to be on their level. But that conversation's not being had. Essentially what this man is doing is trying to fearmonger women. He's essentially saying that,
It's needed.
hey, the more educated you get, the more likely you are to be alone.
It's
and
true.
if you want to be with a man and not die alone, basically you might want to dumb yourself down a bit.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
And unfortunately for these men, the ladies are no longer in that space. They're no longer falling for the okie doke because they know that, number one, there will always be enough men. Whether you have to travel to another country for it, another state, or just completely be in another place, okay? There's never not going to be enough men for women. So that is fallacy number one. Okay, number two, women are more likely now to be okay with being alone until they find the right person. Gone are the days of women settling to just have someone to be with, because I'm pretty sure we've all seen it, okay? The men that come into women's lives and derail it. The confident woman that loses not only her confidence, but her money and her home, okay? Women have seen the incompetence that a man who is not on your level can do, okay? Even the men who are on your level, you have to vet like your life depended on it. I think these conversations are becoming redundant and these men need to give it up.
You see what she's saying? She said, men are not on your level. And the men who are on your level, you need to vet. So you're saying you're going to vet the man you really, really want, who has the money, has the looks, has all the woman. Do you think he's hearing what you're saying? A lot of times that guy may not be as available as you think he is. It's wild. The same conversation we're having, and they're just talking in circles, saying the same thing. Different lady, same thing. And they don't realize it. And they argue and argue it until they can't talk anymore. And it's like, where are we gonna find all of these men at? Where are you gonna find them? You're not gonna find them. I'll tell you why. Because you think education is everything. And it's not. It's really not. You know, if you got a man, there's a lot of guys out here that are smart, that are creating multiple income streams, and you ladies can't even figure it out because you're busy in school. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of guys out there that don't know about certain things as well. What's happening is the biggest wealth transfer in history is happening right now because the world has become extremely easy to make money because of certain technologies that were created. Certain people are aware of them, a lot are not. And you don't need a college education to do it. This is what these ladies are not realizing. Like with a man, you can get a course for $50, $100, $200, and it'll be everything you need. Men are going that route instead of going bankrupt with a whole bunch of debt for nothing.
Okay, give it up. Okay, we know that great men exist, and we also know that those are the ones who are out there truly, truly becoming the movers and shakers of the world alongside their feminine counterparts. Okay, women are not going to make allowances for the weakest and the most unmotivated of men. They're simply not going to do it. They would have you think that there's nowhere you can go where all the men aren't just below you, all down and out, and that you need to settle and, you know, hold him down. Okay, those days are over. Okay, those days are over. And that's not to say that you have no role in this, okay? You do need to cultivate your femininity. You do need to understand men. You do need to date with purpose, and you do need to learn about high-level dating if that's not what you're doing. And you can do that by clicking the link in bio if you want or not. If you got this, then great. If you don't got this, then you don't have to do it alone, okay? You don't have to take the long route, okay? So ladies, see the crap for what it is. It's fear-mongering. Okay, the conversation really does need to be had about why the men are failing. Why are you failing? Why are you unmotivated? Why don't you have anything? Why do you have the emotional range of a 4-year-old? Why are you not where you need to be? Okay, there's too many enablers, and conversations like this just help the enabling even further. This is not women's problem. Do not dumb yourself down. Do not hold yourself back. But do learn how to be strategic, and do learn the game, and do not be a slow learner.
I used to hear this all the time from women who had a lot of wisdom that would say, you need to marry a man that loves you more than you love him. And I did not understand what this meant until I met my fiance, and I 1000% understand it and will die on this hill, that if you do not marry a man who loves you more than you love him, you will be fighting for that relationship your entire life. Or even if you don't want to get married, because not everybody wants to get married, but if you want a lifelong partnership and you're not with a lifelong partner who loves the crap out of you like so much, I feel like we can see it, and you can see the difference. And this also goes back to the video I made yesterday talking about where I stitched the woman's video where she said men either marry two women, their dream girl or the woman that's available, and they settle. And when they marry their dream girl, they will never ever jeopardize that relationship. And when I tell you, this is so true. If you are truly your husband's, partner's, whoever's dream girl, they will never think of doing anything to hurt you, letting you go. They will make sure that they fight for that relationship, not fight, but they will make sure that they do everything possible to make that relationship healthy, make that relationship sustainable. It will never be this, threatening to break up or, this hot and cold. It will never be that if you are his dream girl. And sadly, I know that there's a lot of women that are probably going to sit in a relationship and realize, like, wait a minute, I don't feel this energy from my partner, and it sucks. But I truly believe that there are men out there who just settled for who was available because they felt like they needed to get married at a certain time, and it's not who they really want to be with. And that's also because that's also not fair to the woman, especially if the woman really, really loves the man, and then she's sitting in this unbalanced relationship. This is also why they say do not ever chase a man, because if you spend most of your time going after the man and you're pursuing him, you're doing all the initiation, you're doing all the contact, and he is not pursuing you, courting you, you're going to spend your entire relationship being that person that's always initiating. Versus when a man is truly interested in you and wants to be with you, you will never question without a doubt if that man is interested. You will know without a doubt. They will make it so clear. They will make their intention so clear. You will feel it. You will see it in their actions. They will never make you question. And if you do make it to that stage where you fall in love and you're in that place and he really, really loves you, you will know it with every ounce in your body. And it's hard to explain until you've experienced it. I didn't know, especially when I would ask people, how do you know they're the one? And people say, you just know. You just know. And it's hard to kind of explain, but you absolutely need to be with a man who loves you more than him. And people will say that's playing games. It's not playing games. It's finding a man who truly, genuinely loves being with you, loves spending time with you, is your cheerleader all the time. And you love him, like you love him with all your heart, but that man always outdoes you in the love, and it shows because of how he is. And I always like to say these are the golden retriever husbands, partners, boyfriends. These are the men. Golden retriever energy all day.
She gave the nice guy a chance, and she finally learned you have to accept those men. Before she was rejecting them. Now then she started accepting them. Same thing I suggest the men. Same thing happened when I found my wife. She was loving me more, right? But you have to understand something. It was different. Why? Because I wasn't playing with people's hearts like that. Like how some of these women do. They don't realize it. But what happens is they look at the nice guy like, oh, I can't be with you. You're just too nice. You turned that nice guy down all your life. And then now, when you're down and out after you racked up all them bodies, you gave him a chance. Smartest thing you could have ever done. I would have told you to do that years ago when you were in high school. Not high school even. I would say when you were in college. Rejected him over and over in a friend zone. That guy was in your friend zone. I'm sure he met you, but you know what I'm saying, guys. This is nothing new under the sun.
Whoever told you that you should marry a man that loves you more was wrong. And here's why. First of all, no one should be loving anyone more than the other person. There should be a nice give and take and reciprocity of love between the two of you.
Finally.
You need to look at where this suggestion comes from. A lot of times it comes from mothers or older women who are trying to help, they are well intended, younger women steer clear of unhealthy men who may be wanting to take advantage of you, or maybe if they feel like they're not taken care of properly by a man. So it's more of a fear-based protective measure so that you can maybe assure that you will be committed to by someone faithful and taken care of for the longevity of your marriage. But there's a caveat. If a woman doesn't really genuinely love and desire her husband, if he clearly loves her more, then the woman is very likely going to be dissatisfied in the marriage or the relationship, and she's going to end up cutting ties and leaving him for someone that she desires more. Because a woman's nature is to be affectionate and enthusiastic and loving. And if she doesn't have that for her husband, then there's going to be some big problems. Another really important factor here is if a man is expressing his love enthusiastically, he's going to end up fawning for the woman if she doesn't reciprocate the same. So it's very important to keep that polarity in check. Follow for more.
Yep. Very important. Actually, it's better when it's on the other side, right? Because a man is told to love his wife. God tells a man to love the woman. She doesn't tell the woman to love the man. He tells her to obey him, right? There's a purpose behind it. There's a reason behind that. Because God knows sometimes it isn't started out with love. Like when people get married, right? Look at how it was done back in the days in the old times. Look how it's done over there by like the Middle East and those areas over there. You have a lot of arranged marriages that happened back in the Bible days. So you may have known your wife, but you're not attracted to them. Look at what happens with Indian people all the time. So many arranged marriages happen there. Of course, the woman doesn't love him when she first meets him, but you learn to love him. And you know what's funny? Those marriages seem to last the longest. I think we need to go back to that, right? There should be more arranged marriages. Men in the East and the West should be arranging these ladies' marriages. You wouldn't have so many faults happening now that women don't even see because they're causing the faults from not having supervision. You see, it's all in society. The way the child rates, birth rates are through the roof. Black women pregnant through the roof. It's crazy.
If I was single and my husband was single and I wanted to get his attention again like I did on a dating site and have him propose to me in 10 months again, this is what I would do. I would ask him questions that are completely different than any other woman he's ever met. I would say things to him like, how do you want your future wife to love you? Or I would say things like, has any woman ever cared about what you want and not just what you can offer her? When he compliments me, I would say, thank you for noticing. And if he wondered if I was dating other men, I would ask him if I have a reason not to. I wouldn't be afraid to do this with kids. In fact, I would specifically be looking for someone who wants a woman that has kids and all the wisdom that comes with it. I then would study him in ways no other woman has. I would ask about more than just his day. I would ask him about how he feels. I would ask him about how he's able to be this man in a world where everything comes down on him. Where's his safe space? And has a woman ever been that for him? I would tell him that he feels like home. I would mention that his face is really nice to look at. There's just no way that dating is as difficult as y'all are saying it is. No way. I believe you just don't know what you're doing, and you damn sure don't know how to speak your dream husband's language.
You know what she's doing, right? You heard everything she said. Ladies need to pay attention. He's a cup. She's pouring into him. Men should be poured into. Not say, oh, give me this, give me that, give me that. Not taken from all the time. She poured back into him to fill him up so he can go out there and tackle the world, right? That's what men do. It's funny when I got with my wife, right? I said, and that she knows that's how I handle things. Every time I backs her against the wall, it's on my shoulders, right? I gotta go out there and take care of it. So what does she do? She makes sure she takes care of everything for me, and I love her for it. She pours into me as well, and more women need to pour into their man. That's what's missing. It's a missing art. She's showing the right thing.
Women are not supposed to fall in love with men. Because when you fall in love with men, you act stupid.
Who are you?
You have women who are going 50-50 with men, and then they still wash and cook for the men.
You can't make it up.
You have women who a man call them at 10 o'clock in the night and act like they're in love with them. And after they get the kitty cat, the men leave. And then they don't hear from the man again for months. And then that same man will come back again and call them at 10 o'clock and act like they love them for kitty cat and they forgive the man. You have women who give up their hopes and dreams, work to support the man, and when the man get rich and famous, the man leave them for somebody else. You have women who takes a man into their home, their house. The man don't pay any bills, right? The man just sit around, the man drive their car, eat their food, and the man treat them and they accept it. You have women who the man cheat on them over and over again, and the more the man treat, the more submissive they become. You have women who financially takes care of men, give their man the money, their card, they're buying love. You have women who works for years, right? Doing everything that the man wants, being the good woman, hoping for the man to marry them, waiting to have babies because the man is not ready. And then the man leave them, right? Married a woman between 6 months and then start a family. And the reason for this is because...
I gotta stop right there, right? Because she's naming all these scenarios. And I say, ladies that do that are out of their mind. Like, if you continuously going through the same thing and you're not making changes, something's wrong, right? Like, think about what's happened all this time with ladies. Ladies have been acting the same way for years. What started happening with men? Disappear. Right? You didn't see till now. So many women are like, oh man, no guys are not there for us. Guys are not around. Guys are not. What's happened? Men have pulled back. Men have pulled themselves out of society. Men are not going to clubs. Men are not going to dating events. Men are not going to eat out. What are men doing? Saving their money, grinding hard, hitting the gym. They may be playing video games and just checked out. Is it right? Most of it's right, yeah, but some of it's not, but most of it is. That's smart. Men are holding the line. What are women doing? And it's not being in love. If you're in love, it's a good thing. But you see, like the one lady a couple of videos ago, she finally gave the good guy a chance. Now she's getting married. She had to wait until she racked up her bodies. You wonder why this is why men are done.
All right, queens, you guys have been asking for this one. 5 traits that all men want in their woman. Here we go. Number 1, physical attraction. If you want to know one thing about men, it's this. They are absolutely visual creatures. I cannot stress that enough. A man of quality is going to want a woman who takes pride in her physical appearance. She doesn't necessarily have to be the most beautiful woman in the room, but she is going to be a woman that understands the importance of how she presents herself to the world. Number 2, cooperation. And this one is so simple. If you want a man that's a natural leader, you're going to have to know how to cooperate. He's going to want to see if you can be a partner, if you can be a team player. He's not going to want to fight with you over every single little thing. If you are stubborn, combative, closed-minded, and negative, a man of quality is going to find that extremely unattractive. A lot of us women get into the bad habit of making everything a battle. And if you want a man who is high quality, he is going to have way bigger things on his mind, like running your family in the right direction. He's not going to want to argue with you over what you are going to have for dinner. Number 3, to feel wanted. Don't get me wrong. He wants you to be fully yoked. He wants you to have a life. He wants you to have all of those things. And you can be independent. You can be a boss woman, but just make sure that you're operating in that feminine energy that makes a man feel wanted. He's going to love the fact that you have passions and interests in a life outside of him, but you have to remember that a man's natural state is to be a provider and to be a protector, and he's going to want a woman that makes him feel like he has room to do that in her life. Number 4, and y'all are not going to like this one, accountability. Yeah. Harsh truth? We don't have any problem telling a man the 152 ways that they are wrong. But when the tables turn and it's our turn to be accountable, a high-quality man is going to want to see that you know how to do that. Can you apologize? Can you hold yourself accountable? For some reason, for us women, it's so hard to acknowledge when we're wrong and to say that we're sorry. But a high-quality man is going to want to see that you can do that. It goes back to being a good partner. And number 5, last but not least, I hint at this one all the time, so I'm going to speak on it now, feminine energy. I know for some reason whenever people talk about masculine energy versus feminine energy, it gets so controversial, and I really don't understand why that is. It's honestly very simple. Your grace, your class, your poise, your confidence, your nurturing, compassionate energy. If he's really looking for a wife, he's going to want to see a woman who can bring the qualities to the relationship that he naturally as a man cannot. Now here's the thing, and this message goes to men and women. It is not fair to go out into the dating market with a full list of all of the things that you need in a partner when you don't really know the first thing about what your partner is going to need from you. Relationships are a two-way street. And if you want to find and build a relationship that lasts the test of time, you're going to have to care about your partner's happiness and their needs just as much as your own.